Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last safety meeting of the 24-25 school year. We're going to start off with 3 positive videos, the first of which covers the importance of participating in the evacuation drills at the schools in the fall, going over the emergency exits, emergency equipment, and covering how to operate the two-way radio. Might just save your life. Second 2 videos touch on the importance of getting to know your students, greeting them on and off your bus, and how the students are watching no matter what you think. First topic we're going to cover is a change in processing of CDL licenses at the DMV. As of March 20th, 2025, you need to bring 2 forms of identification and 1 form of proof of Minnesota residency when you apply for a duplicate license, renewal of your CDL, or getting a new commercial learner's permit. So when you go there, you're going to need your Minnesota driver's license plus another form of ID, which includes a U.S. passport or birth certificate or any of those items listed in that middle column. Plus, you have to bring one of those items listed in the right-hand column, 1 proof of Minnesota address. You need 3 of those things when you go there to get a renewal, duplicate, or new commercial learner's permit. I'm going to talk about the stop arm violation report forms that need to be completed every time you have a stop arm violation out on the road. Sherburne County and Wright County now have their separate report forms, which are included in the bins downstairs here at Elk River and should be at the other locations as well. So if you have a violation in Sherburne County or Wright County, fill out the appropriate form. We are no longer recommending that you try to mark the video, as that causes some problems with one of the camera systems. It's just easier for you to fill out the form with as much information as possible, including your name, your location, the time, the stop location, best description you have. And again, it doesn't matter if you don't have the license plate number, a good vehicle description, or a description of the driver. We have stop arm cameras that are great at capturing the license plate. The new ones that we are installing actually take still photographs of the license plate. They zoom in on it, and they also take still photographs of the driver. So again, fill out the forms best you can, turn them in at your prospective location, and the guys that work the videos, both Jake and Rob, they will find what is needed and submit that to law enforcement. For anybody driving outside of these areas, so if you're in Hennepin County, Anoka County, and beyond, you just fill out the other state form with the same information. So again, if you're driving in Hennepin or Anoka County or any other county for that matter, just fill out the stop arm violation on this state patrol form and turn that in. I'm going to talk a little bit about the 2025 state inspection, is particularly the failure rate. Overall, very good job done by everyone when it comes to pre-tripping the vehicles and reporting anything that is not operational so it gets fixed. Overall, the vision failure rate was 16.6%, which is below the industry average of 21%. However, 42 out of 55 out of service criteria, so that means it took the vehicle out of service. It had to be repaired before it could be re-inspected. Again, 42 out of 55 could have been caught on a pre-trip. And then 31 of 32 violations, so just a violation, it didn't take the vehicle out of service, but 31 out of 32 should have been easily caught on a pre-trip. So that's why it's important to be going through these vehicles each day. Again, one pre-trip of the vehicle is required per day. However, every new driver should be coming in and looking everything over and make sure we're writing up things that are not operational. There are certain things that down a bus. If you're not sure what those are, check in with front counter staff. Obviously, the important things: brakes, 8-way light system for students, and other vital things when it comes to engine, oil, any other kind of leaks, that sort of thing. Again, make sure we're going through these each day. Make sure you're filling out the pre-trip form properly, which includes the bus number or vehicle number in the upper right-hand corner, your location, write out the full name: Elk River, Rogers, Zimmerman, Big Lake, St. Michael, Albertville, the week of whatever week you're covering, and the year 2025. And then for each day, you fill out starting mileage, ending mileage, total, you date it, put your initials in the box, and then that right box, lower right box down there, make sure we're putting our initials, our printed name, and our signature. So again, we only have to fill it out one time per day. Every new driver that comes in adds their initials for each day of the week and adds their information into that box on the lower right. Drivers and their aides or assistants need to work as a team, and that includes everything, including the driver driving safely. The aides are required to assist the drivers with route directions as needed. Again, we want the driver to be as safe as possible and focus on getting kids from A to B safely. So if they're unsure of route directions, the assistants should be reading and giving directions to the driver. We've had some incidents where we've had complaints from the public, and we go to look at video, and here the driver is going down the street with route paperwork in their hand, trying to figure out where they're going when they have an assistant on the vehicle. So again, make sure you're assisting the drivers. Make sure the assistants or aides remain vigilant, alert, always be seated in an area of the vehicle where they have quick access to all students. So that doesn't mean sitting up front with the driver unless all other seats are taken. You need to be in a position in the vehicle to intervene if a student unsecures themselves or lashes out, becomes violent, starts hitting or grabbing other students. Again, the driver's primary responsibility is their passenger safety. We have to ensure that students arrive at their destination in a timely and safe manner. Every employee should be getting a Vision Employee Handbook covering all the policies every year. On page 44 of the Employee Handbook, it talks about confidentiality and data privacy. There are a lot of conversations that are being heard at different locations that should not be taking place, involving students' names, drivers involved in other accidents or incidents, other employees talking badly about other employees behind their back. Again, these conversations shouldn't be happening out in the open within earshot of anyone else hearing. Specifically water cooler talk. If you have important information to pass on to your location manager or other employees, make sure you do that in a confidential manner. Make sure you request a private meeting behind a closed door so that others are not within earshot. That includes conversations with dispatch at the front counters. Again, if it involves other student names, other names of other employees, make sure we have those conversations in confidence. Again, avoid the water cooler talk. Please be respectful of one another. You don't know who is within earshot listening. You don't want anybody talking badly behind your back. So please don't do that to your partners. Well, I talk about it at every safety meeting and every startup meeting. However, it still occurs, and that is the topic of sweetheart stops. They are illegal. We cannot change them. They open yourself and vision up to liability when you're not dropping students off at the correct location, which is listed on the route paperwork. Please don't do this. It causes problems for sub drivers, and like I said, it is illegal. So again, drop where you're supposed to drop according to your paperwork. If something doesn't make sense, make sure you go through your contact at your local location and pass on that information. If a route change has to take place or a stop location has to change, that can be done. But again, whatever is on your paperwork, stick with that. Another reminder not to engage parents at stop locations. A lot of times they'll want to talk about changing a stop location or wanting to address the fact that little Johnny is harassing their student. They might want to come on board and address that child. Just politely tell them if they have any issues to contact Vision with the appropriate phone number. Tell them that you don't have time for dialogue, that you have to move along for your route. Again, do not engage them. And also a reminder that notes from students are not accepted. So students are going to bring notes on board from their parents or claim to be from their parents that they're to be dropped off at their friend's stop. Not acceptable. Always run that stuff through Vision Dispatch. Just a reminder, check your route bins daily. Things are constantly changing with adding and dropping students. And I know I talk about this just about every meeting, but again, continues to be a problem. Still get complaints from the public. Again, we have to investigate these and check GPS and all that to substantiate them. But again, we have the technology in the vehicles where it generates an automated report on speed severity violations, specifically category 1 and 2. Category 1 being the most severe, consistently over the limit, and it lists the total over by miles per hour based on the speed limit on that roadway. So again, try to make sure you're obeying the speed limit out on the road. Again, the posted limit on the road is the posted limit. It's not 5 over, it's not 10 over, and it's not keeping up with the flow of traffic. Also, the Vision parking lot property, it's 5 miles an hour. Okay, make sure you're looking at your speedometer. Try looking at it, see what 5 miles an hour looks like, feels like. It's pretty much riding the brake to keep it at that level. Again, there's a lot of moving parts here. We have a lot of people crossing, going to their personal vehicles. A lot of people with little kids. It's dark. Sometimes it's rainy. It's hard to see. Reminder for all District 728 school parking lots. Speed limit is 10 miles an hour. Again, a lot of moving parts there. A lot of sightline issues with buses parked, parent pickup, that sort of thing. Again, let's make sure we're slowing down. Now that spring is here and we lost our jackets for the most part, Let's make sure we're following Vision's dress code, which is also in the employee handbook. Again, if you get up in the morning, make sure there's a light on before you get dressed to make sure you're not wearing something inappropriate to be hauling around other people's kids. We don't want to have t-shirts, hats, or anything with offensive language, promoting drugs, alcohol, tobacco, guns or ammo, anything like that. We also want to make sure we have secure footwear, so no open-toed shoes, sandals, flip-flops, that sort of thing. Again, if you come into work wearing something like that, somebody sees it, they might have you wear a jacket or give you a Vision vest or something like that to cover it up for the day. Or you could always turn it inside out if it's a shirt. A big focus of the State Patrol during the February state inspections here was vehicle cleanliness. That could have very likely accounted for a lot of the violations we did have. So again, reminder, we need to be cleaning these vehicles every day. They're not your vehicles, and other drivers might have to get in there and drive them. So let's not leave it like that for your partner. You get 15 minutes at the end of your route, at the end of the day. Service the vehicle, gas it, run a broom through it, keep it clean. This is a picture of one of the buses that got turned in a couple years ago after the school year was over. And unfortunately, the location manager or other people had to take care of this cleaning. So let's not do that to our partners. Let's be accountable to ourselves and keep things clean. Um, if you run a broom through them regularly, kids are less apt to throw down on a clean floor versus one that's already messy. Make announcements, especially your trip drivers or charter drivers. Make announcements. Tell them to be respectful of each other, be respectful of the bus. Make sure if there is any garbage, they bring it up on their way out and deposit it. That sort of thing. Just a reminder that we are covered by the Good Samaritan Law under Minnesota Statute 604A.01. Basically, we are not civilly liable if rendering aid to anyone at a scene or on the way to a hospital or a clinic. So if something happens to one of our students or we get involved in a crash, they get stung by a bee, they get hurt, we do the best we can and we're not held civilly liable. Again, that's why we're not required to have any kind of first aid or medical certificate. We do, however, cover basic first aid, CPR, in every startup meeting every fall. Also, a reminder that we can assist with an EpiPen. So if a student is going into anaphylactic shock due to a bee sting or food allergy or something like that, and they're having trouble breathing, ask them if they can still talk, if they have an EpiPen, and go ahead and assist with that. If they cannot speak, maybe go through their backpack or their clothing, look for an EpiPen. Obviously, calling 911 first and then notifying Vision Dispatch second. But we want to make sure we do our best to help out quickly in that situation. Just a reminder to make sure we have our headlights on even during daylight hours. We are required to do that. That includes the vans, that includes the transits, that includes the big buses. Here's a picture of what the proper position should be with the headlight switch. You want to be 2 clicks to the right. Otherwise, you will have headlights. However, you will not have tail lights. So again, make sure your headlight switch is in this position when you're driving. I know I've talked about this at prior meetings, but covering the Elk River parking lot here. We're especially busy. Parking spots are scarce depending on the day and the time. When you enter the parking lot, please keep moving. Try not to wait for pedestrian traffic, other employees to cross over to get to their personal vehicles. If we're stopping for them to cross, other vehicles are going to back out, potentially stopping with the rear end of a bus sticking out onto Elk Lake Road, which we don't want to block a lane of traffic. So again, try to come in, keep moving. As you do enter the parking lot, you're going to want to take that immediate left-hand turn along the tree row, along Elk Lake Road or closest to Elk Lake Road. And we're going to go clockwise around there. So to exit, we're going to go out the other way, which is going to be closest to the front door of the building. Please, van drivers, please do not drop off your aid or assistance at the front door after the route. Don't stop there. It creates congestion. It creates a backup. Again, go park the vehicle in a designated parking spot only, and you might have to walk a little bit. We want to keep things moving. It's very hectic at times. We want to keep traffic going. And a reminder for any vehicle coming into the yard and approaching the fuel island, we want to stay on that left side of the fuel island. So again, coming into the yard, stay left of the fuel island, and that is because of the vans parked diagonally along the barn. They are faced that direction to come out that direction. For those that are at the fuel island and have completed fueling, specifically the full-size buses, do not take a hard left turn from the fuel island to go back towards the garage and go around that way. Keep going straight. Keep going all the way around if you have to find a spot to park on the other side. Do not take that hard left turn, otherwise your rear bumper is going to make contact with those yellow rungs protecting the fuel island. Your tail swing is going to catch that. We've had some recently. We want to avoid that. Also, please do not park in midday. That's the spot right out in front of the office there, between there and the barn. That is used for midday vehicle parking only, people that need to go out on route midday. So again, find a legal painted spot for your personal vehicle, and also avoid parking at the shop entrance on the other side of the building where they have cones set up. They need to get equipment in and out of there, and we don't want anybody's personal vehicle damaged by that. And a reminder, make sure that we have functioning cameras. So again, checking your cameras should be part of your pre-trip on your vehicle. Functioning cameras are required by district contract. So if you have a camera that is not working on that vehicle, either try calling someone to come out and reset it, or pop the chip out, pop a different one in, or pop it back in, see if you can get that reset to occur so that you have a green light. Remember, green is good, red or dark black is not good. So again, if you can't get it going, you're going to need to take a different vehicle. Because if you have luck like me, the day you take out a vehicle where the camera system is not working, then little Johnny's going to accuse you of doing something or saying something, and we got no video to prove them wrong. So again, check your vehicles daily, make sure we have functioning cameras. Green is good, red or black is not good. Springtime is here, so we should not leave buses idling at the schools or wherever we're parked waiting. Again, we have a bus idling policy in the Vision Employee Handbook. The parameters of the policy, basically, if it's above 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 to 3 minute max idle time. If it's below 20 degrees, 10-minute max idle time. If we have inclement weather where we have continued icing or fogging, you're going to have to leave the vehicles run to keep that heat, keep that windshield clear. But again, springtime is here, so we should not be idling at all. It is costly. There is an automatic report that generates excessive bus idle time, and it lists it down by the dollar amount for the time it idles. So please don't let them idle now. Just a reminder for any trip drivers that are hauling trailers, there is a trailer pre-trip form. We have a brand new one. That form also needs to be completed along with the regular pre-trip form of the bus. So again, these new forms should be in the bins downstairs and available at other locations. If you do not have one, make sure you talk with front counter staff to get one. A little bit about complaints and accountability. So again, we can't control who makes phone calls, complaints to the front desk from the public, from other locations, from the schools, from the district, from the parents. Again, we have to investigate every complaint. So if that means checking the vehicle GPS for speed, hard braking, we check cameras for erratic driving or driving complaints, close calls, that sort of thing, and then following up by talking to witnesses. So again, we don't take every complaint at face value. We have to do an investigation and follow up on those things. So again, if you're not at fault, make sure you're self-reporting. Make sure, again, you're filling out incident report forms for anything that's going to generate a phone call from the public, a parent, school district, whoever. Cover your own rear end ahead of time. We'd rather be ahead of things rather than having somebody call the next morning and say, hey, this happened to their little Johnny on the bus or on the van, and we know nothing about it. We have no idea what the driver did. So again, anything that happens, just be upfront, be honest, report it. Again, we get calls for inappropriate behavior, performance of duty, driving complaints, you name it. Almost happens daily. And again, we have to look at it and eventually talk to you about it, at least let you know that a complaint was made. Unfortunately, we've had some people here work their way out of routes, work their way out of locations, and unfortunately work their way out of employment with vision. So, if you're found at fault for something, retraining will occur. And again, we try retraining because we want to retain everyone as an employee and make sure things get better, things get safer, and it doesn't happen again. But unfortunately, when retraining is not working and it's repetitive, then we have to look at the progressive discipline policy at that point. So again, hold yourselves accountable and let's be good to one another and make this place safe. And a little bit about the employee referral bonus. Here are the amounts for the new rates in 2025. We've had several employee referrals that were successfully sent through compliance, successfully trained in, and who are working here currently. So again, fill out that form at the front desk or contact either Leanne or Carolyn from the recruiting team. For a CDL driver, it's $1,500. A van driver that you refer is $750, and a new assistant is $450. Not to wish summer away, but a reminder that the startup meetings for August are already set. Monday, August 4th for Big Lake. Tuesday, August 5th for Rogers, Elk River, Zimmerman, and that's going to be at the Rogers High School this year. Shuttles will be provided, other locations to get you there if you have trouble finding your own ride. And then Wednesday, August 6th, will be St. Michael, Albertville. Again, all these meetings are from 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. Put this in your calendar and have a good summer.